And hello YouTube, this is GSMathSmart, and I'm here today with another brand new tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going to be using Adobe After Effects CS6, and basically what we're going to be teaching you how to do is how to use the 3D camera tracking tool, which will basically allow you to place 3D text within the video, or place special effects within the video without them losing the orientation, or without them changing in scale or anything like that. It'll basically seem like it's part of the video. So to show you an example, because it might be confusing you, so to show you an example of what I mean, I did do a video with this technique before, so I'm going to show you it real quick of how I did it. So basically, we're going over the bridge. Over here we see text pop up on the right. Over here on the left we see text pop up also. There we go. Spiral Studios, text pops up. On the side here we see it pop up, and right there pop up again. Obviously that one wasn't as greatly placed. But on the floor here you can see presents and then our title right there. So basically what we have throughout the entire video, the entire first 30 seconds of the video, we are using all camera tracking. So to place the text on the floor like that, and to have the text pop up on the side when we're going over the bridge like that, and for it to stay in place, as you can see, the text does not lose its proportion. It does not get disorientated. It does not lose its position. It stays in that specific spot throughout the video, even when you're going over it, when you're going through it, when you're going besides it, it stays in that spot, which is a really nice technique. So we're going to be showing you how to do that with a different clip though, and we're showing you how you can do this with your videos. So if you have video already, you can go click File, you can go click Import, you can click File and import your file. I don't have my file yet, so I'm going to go ahead and find it. There it is. Now what you want to make sure is that you don't, if you have a large file, like if you're uploading your whole movie into here, or if you're uploading a whole video into here, if you want to pick the spot where you want to place this effect. If you only want to place this effect in the first 30 seconds, then split that video and make it into a new composition so you can work with that section of the video. Because if you place your effect, say on all this 5 minutes, it's going to take a long time, not only to render, but to analyze and process as well. And you'll see what I mean by analyze and process as we go through this tutorial. So you want to make sure that your video is that you're working with the part of the video where you want to place the effect in. Now I want to place my effect into right about into this part of the video, right into here. I want to place my effect into this part of the video right there. So I'm going to find my starting point and go to Edit, go to Split Layer. I'm going to go ahead and delete this. I don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to find where the section ends, and my section is going to end right about here. I'm going to Edit, I'm going to Split Layer, and we can delete this. So now you're working with just what you need. I'm going to go ahead and resize the time of my comp so I can work easier with this. This is about 14 seconds. To change the time of your composition, go up to Composition here, go to Composition Settings, and you can just change this to what you want it to be. So 0.0.15.0. So there we go. Now we have our 15-second composition with the selected video. It's a little less than 15 seconds, but oh well. I'm just going to do a quick RAM preview of this to make sure it looks good. So as you can see, this is what we're working with. A flyover of a river. Now, we don't want the sound. It'll just cause disturbance. As you can see, it's pretty slow. It's not too fast, it's not too slow, it's just perfect for this effect. So now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to make text come up on the sides here. As we're flying over this river, I'm going to try to make text on the sides here. So we're going to be flying by text that's on the sides of these trees. So to do that, the first thing you want to do is you want to open up your tracker menu or window, which is right here. If you don't have it here, if you can't find it anywhere on your screen right now, you want to go up to Windows. You want to click the tracker button right here. If it has a check mark, that means it's somewhere there. If it doesn't have a check mark, that means it's not open. Just click it and it will pop up somewhere. So next thing you want to do is, if you have multiple files open here in your timeline here, you want to select the file you're working with. I'm going to be working with this file, the only one that's here, and you want to click Track Camera. Once you click that, it'll say Analyzing in Background Step 1 of 2. Now this is the part where it takes a long time. If you have a long clip, this will take some time. My 30-second the 30-second intro that I showed you at the beginning of this video, it took about 7 minutes to analyze the video. So you have a long footage clip, it's going to take a while to analyze. It also depends on how much you move the camera. As you can see in this video, we're not moving the camera much. We're just flying over a river. The camera basically stays in the same position. We're just flying over. So if your camera moves a lot, it's going to take a while too. To check the progress of this, you can look up here top left corner. It'll say 47%. It will also tell you how many seconds are remaining, and it'll tell you how many frames it has to go through. Right now we're going through about 400 frames. So all this is 400 frames. Depending on how long your video is, how many movements you're making in your video, depends on how many frames you have. The more frames, the longer it'll take you. So this will be finished any second now. In just 15 seconds. So the cool thing about this is, though, that while this is analyzing the background, you can still work on your project. If you wanted to place some effects into it, you can still place effects. Say you wanted to place a tint effect, you can still work with your video as this is analyzing. You know, you can change stuff. You can basically work with this as much as you want, and it'll still analyze. So after that finishes, it'll do camera solving, which you just saw like for like maybe a split second, and that's it. But you'll start seeing these dots. Let me take this tint effect off. Let me go over here to effects. Let's go over here, tint. Let's take that off. We don't want this. Okay. So basically what you have now is, if you don't see your X's anymore disappear, you can click this button here that says Render Track Points. You can check the check mark box here, and you'll see that we have a lot of dots here. Lots of dots here. Now, what these dots mean, these are places where you can place your text or your null object or your special effects. So say I'm going to place a text here on the floor, and maybe some text here on the sides as we're passing by. But first, let's place some on the floor. I'm going to place some text right about, let's see, if I'm going. Let's place some text right about right there. So when you find your bullseye, the bullseye basically shows you how your text will be. If your bullseye is to the side off here, when it's pointing to the sides, that means your text will appear like that. If it's pointing upwards, that means your text is going to be laying flat on the ground like this. If it's to the side, it's going to be on the side like that. So it does some good analyzing, and I think it's a really good technique. So I'm going to place my text right about right there. When you find your bullseye, you can right click and create text and camera. What this will do, it'll create two more layers. It'll create a 3D camera layer, and it will create a text layer. Now mine is being a bit slow, probably because I'm recording at the exact same time. So just give it a few seconds to create those layers. You'll see your layers pop up here, and when you see that, you can go ahead and customize your text. Now it's being a bit slow. There we go. As you can see, it's loading here, this orange bar. So any second now it'll work. Come on. go. Hurry up. So there's your text now. Now you have our text here, and as you can see, as the bullseye showed you, your text is going to be laying on the ground like that. So if you want to edit your text, you can click your text layer, which is this red one right here, and you can select your text layer up here, horizontal type tool, and you can highlight this, and we can type in movie. So there you go, we typed some text in. Now if we go through this, you're going to see that we're going to be flying over this. So you want to keep it on the ground. As you can see, we're going to be flying over. If you want to keep it on the ground, you can keep it on the ground. You can also, the cool thing is that you can move this around. If you don't like the way it looks right now, you can change the position of it, you can rotate it, you can make it stand up. All you gotta do is press the down arrow here on your text layer, go to transform, and you can change the X rotation of it. As you can see, I made it stand, so now we'd be going through it. As you can see, we'd be going through it now. Or you can move back a little more. Or you can change the way it looks like here. You can change the X and the Y. I'm just going to keep it the way it was. I'm going to go press Control Z 2 times. I'm going to keep it on the floor so it looks like we're flying over it. So I'm going to keep mine as movie. Now you can change your color, obviously, with the color tool over here. If you want, you can change it to, you can change it to white if you want. So there you go. Now it's white. But the point is, you need to find a good spot. Now some bullseye, they're really crappy. Some look really bad. So you want to find a bullseye that looks good. To get higher quality spots, to get higher quality tracking points, you want to make sure you have footage that doesn't move a lot, that stays constant in one direction. So a flyby, or a horizontal camera pan over, those are good. So right now we're flying over text. So next, let's go find where we can have text on the side of the trees. Let's work with something over here. So you want to select another point. You click your little selection tool up here, the little arrow. You go to you select your footage that has all the tracker points, and you can select another. You can select another spot. Now if your X's suddenly just disappear, like say it disappeared like this, you can always click the render track points button like this, and they'll appear again. So I'm gonna have some text on the side here now. What do I want to use? Let's use, what's a good spot? I'm gonna use this spot right there. So I'm going to use this bullseye right here, and I'm going to right click, create text, and as you can see, there's my text. I can click my text layer, and we can change this to trees. So right now this looks a little tilted upwards, so I'm going to make this, I'm going to tilt it down a little. So I'm going to click my effects, transform. I'm going to change it up a little bit. So right about there. Now you have these blurs. They're probably because you're either recording, because when I'm not recording I don't have these blurs. So you need to but you can still see, if you make your text a bright color, you can see it through the blurs. Like you can see that I'm moving the text, I'm rotating it. If you don't like the position of it, you can always change the position also. Position right here, you can change the position, move it up, down, left, right. I'm gonna move mine. Let me see if I can move it a little more down. There we go. It's a little more down now. So now, as we're going through this, we are passing by the words trees. So I'm gonna keep it at that. I'm gonna do a final RAM preview of this, so you guys can see how it looks. Now, if you run into this problem, like right now, if you run into this problem where you can see your text, the best thing to do is to use the opacity feature. For example, if you want your text to pop up like right now, I would just go over here, click my text, go to opacity, which is right here, and I would press the stopwatch. I change it to 0, and then I'll move a few seconds forward, maybe like a little bit forward, and I'll change it to 100, and that'll create the second keyframe. So then it'll basically make itself appear right there. The same with the one with the trees. You can keyframe it to appear whenever you want. So I'm gonna keyframe it to appear right after I go over my movie. Actually, right about there. We're gonna make it appear right there. So once again, click the opacity stopwatch. Right there. Here's where you want it to be 0. So change to 0, and we're gonna move a little bit forward, and we're gonna change it to 100. Oops, 100. Like there. You can type it in, or you can move the little slider like this, or you can type it in. Doesn't really matter. And this will avoid from the text appearing at the start of the video, because I do know that's a problem sometimes. So now we're gonna do a quick RAM preview of this, so you can see how this effect plays out. Now all these little dots, I forgot to take them off, so I'm gonna go ahead and take them off. To take them off, all you gotta do is click your footage that you applied the tracking points to, and make sure you uncheck this. If you render your video with this check, the dots will appear in your final video. So uncheck this and just click a random layer and they'll disappear. Now you can RAM preview this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward this, or I'm gonna cut the video here, and I'll come back when this finishes RAM previewing, when it finishes going through the video, so I can show you the whole video, so you guys don't need to sit here and wait. So I'll be back in like a few seconds, cause yeah, be back. And we are back, guys, and the project has just finished RAM previewing. As you can see, the green bar, here's the green bar. So I'm going to show you how this looks now. This isn't half resolution, as you can see here, half resolution. If I turn it to full, the green bar will go away, so I'm going to keep it at half, because yeah, it's already done rendering. So obviously you will see it a bit pixelized because it's in half resolution. So obviously once this video renders completely, it will look very clear. But here's how it looks. As you can see, we're flying over our river. Our movie title comes up, we're flying over it. Our trees come up, we're flying by it. As you can see, our text stays in its position. It stays in 3D space as if it is part of the video. Once again, we'll see it again here. And we're flying over it. And it looks like it is part of the environment. So that's it right there, guys. That is how to use the new 3D tracking camera feature with ray tracing, which we do have. You can do ray tracing, which can make your text look a bit more 3D. You can basically make it look more blocky. To do that, you can press this button right here, Ray Trace 3D. I'll just go over it real quick. You can click Ray Trace 3D. Over here, you click your text layer, click Ray Trace 3D, and just click OK here. And what you can now do is actually go over here to geometric options here, and if you we need to go a little forward to our trees. Let's go to our trees. If you increase the excursion here, as you can see, now the text looks blocky. Now when you do this, it's very difficult to do this in a position like this. You want to make sure that you have your text in a spot where it can look good. I don't like the excursion much. I think that's how it's called. Let me take the correct. Yeah, extrusion. I don't like to use it that much, but some people like to use it. I mean, as you can see, I don't think it looks very good here, but it basically makes your text look more 3D-ish, blocky. So some people like to use it. I don't like to use it personally, but that is nothing you can do with the new Ray Traced 3D. That's just one of the things you can do with Ray Traced 3D. So that's something cool as well. But that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. I've gone over Ray Traced 3D a little bit. I've gone over camera tracking with 3D text. I hope you guys all learned something today. And once again, thank you for watching. If you like to like this video, please do like it. It helps a lot. If you like to subscribe, I have plenty of subscribers. They all like my videos. I have plenty of other videos as well about Audacity, about GIMP, other Adobe After Effects tutorials, Windows 7 tutorials, plenty of different tutorials out there. So if you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, if you have any questions, I do reply to all my comments. So if you want to just say thanks, I will reply even to things. I'll be like, oh, you're welcome, no problem, whatever. So I do reply to all my comments. I've replied to every single one of my comments on every single one of my videos. So if you have questions, feel free to leave a question. I will answer within 3 to 4 days. So thank you for watching, and this is GS Man of Smart, and I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.